am ready to go. Let's rock and roll. Let's rhythm and blues it. Okay, hi, I'm Andy Kindler. I'm the host of I'm not the host, right? What's the name of the show? Acme.
Well, I'm sure you remember since you were on the show last year.
I do remember that, but I do about 7 or 8 podcasts a day.
Yeah, I know. Actually, I wouldn't have been surprised if you don't remember anything. I don't remember what we talked about, but it's called No Laugh Track.
And, well, that's just like my regular act, huh?
Hey!
I'm going to repeat material I did before. It's in an empty the club is empty here at Acme just to make me feel comfortable for how it usually is. See? You said no laugh track, and all of a sudden, Derek just turned the laugh track on. It's crazy. Derek, you don't want your name involved in this, right?
He has no choice.
How many hits you get? How many unique visitors? Do you get? It better be like 1 million people are listening to this.
Oh, God, 1 million.
Okay, that's
we get
good.
that like in 10 minutes.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
You have that on you.
1 million has 2 zeros, right?
No,
Oh.
does not.
Okay.
You know my joke about unique visitors?
No.
I have over 40 unique visitors to my website each month. There's a guy who wears a top hat. There's a lady who collects tea cozies. And then for every comedy crowd, I have to say, now that is unique!
Hey.
See how I backed off the mic? I'm a pro! A pro! I'm back. And we're back.
I need to take care of some business here.
Do your thing. I won't jump in.
Episode.
I mean, what I'm trying to say is I will not in any way
I know.
occlude.
Okay. This is episode 58. Just to mark it there, make it official. Episode 58, and we already said the name. No laugh track. I'm Justin. You're Andy.
Do you say the name? The people know is that for the public?
The public, yes, because it gets broadcast. Just no.
And people say,
I don't
hey,
know why.
I liked 52.
You know what it is? I think it's because I work in radio, and that's stuck in my head that I need to introduce myself.
Well, then you should be doing this. 85 degrees downtown Acme. Hey, it's gonna be a hot one. We could reach triple digits. But Mom, don't put those raincoats away because we could get a little bit of the wet stuff.
Some moisture.
We could get a little. I'm a Rain Stormfield.
I need to say thank you to the band. You like that music that we were hearing at the beginning there?
Oh, that was good.
Right?
They are so good.
Yeah, well, that's a local comic, Trevor Anderson. That's his band, Circle of Heat. We play their music before every show, so thanks to those guys.
Circle of Heat.
Circle of Heat.
I like that name a lot.
Yeah, it is a good name. Good rock name.
I might have to swipe it.
And then I needed one more thing of business here. I need to apologize. Apologies go out to the 2 guests I had last week on the episode no one heard, except me, them, and Derek. Dan St. Germain and Carmen Lynch. We were here last Wednesday, had a great podcast. We talked for an hour, laughs galore. Dan left with a T-shirt I brought him. We had a great time, and then Derek was playing it back, and the mic I was using wasn't picking up, even though he could hear it in the back of the room.
Wow.
So no podcast.
Did you have to break it to him?
I think someone at the club told Dan and Carmen. They were even willing to re-record with me, but I just didn't have time. So
yeah,
they're pretty awesome. Both very funny and.
Happened with me with doing Fitzdog, the Greg Fitzsimmons.
Oh yeah,
podcast.
Greg Fitzsimmons. Yeah,
we did a national thing for his not as part of the Howard Stern network, and then he does his podcast afterwards, and he has ADD, so he's in charge of pressing record. Greg, he never pressed record.
Oh no!
And so we did a whole hour.
Yeah.
And then I said, well, let's just go again. And because in your case they left.
Yeah.
But in my case, I was like, let's go again. And so we were like absolutely dizzy. It was like the most fun I've ever had.
Oh really?
Yeah, it was so great.
All right, Derek, hit stop. Let's not record this. We'll do 2. I want to start things off officially here with a joke.
Okay.
Knock knock.
Who's there?
Andy Kindler.
Andy Kindler. Who?
Hey!
Exactly. I thought you were doing a callback to the hideous defense team on the Trayvon Martin trial.
Yeah, I am.
They are. Oh, okay.
I am. Yeah.
They are. What a hideous group of people.
I should have said Andy Kindler. Who? Welcome to the crowd. Right?
Yeah, but I love that the Monday the sleazeball Mark O'Mara, he says no, at the post press conference he says if George Zimmerman had been black he would never have been arrested.
Right.
So that either the guy's lying or he's lying, right? And so I tweeted last night that George Zimmerman would never have been arrested if he was black because he would have been in his mansion or at his yacht.
Right.
What did he need? If you're black, that's your ticket to paradise.
Exactly. You've been tweeting a lot you were tweeting a lot about that.
I do, and I have to back off this week because I'm going to the Just for Laughs Festival in Montreal next week, and I do that the speech.
Yeah,
I do, and I'm writing it this week. You know, I don't want anybody to get the wrong idea that I haven't been working on it all year. But I do technically work on it all year because I log all my information. But I always wait till the week before to start writing because why not make things aggravating for myself?
Yeah.
And cause a lot of heartache.
Why change now?
But I have to back off Twitter in general because it really is getting up to like 20 hours a day with me and the Twitter. Because if I want to avoid my actual obligations, I'll go on Twitter and then I have to keep remembering to tell myself to not take the bait with people.
Yeah.
And so mostly now I go, do I really want to get into this with this person who I don't know who they are and go back and forth ridiculously? So I'm trying to ignore more stuff.
But you're still doing it.
No, well, yeah. In the last 24 hours, I've been better.
Oh, the last 24 hours.
It's 16 hours.
Yeah,
man.
okay. Because I think I went back and saw a few from a few days ago.
Oh, I tweeted before the show, 5 minutes before the show last night, that three of the jurors who initially thought that we're going to vote that Zimmerman was guilty.
Yeah.
They confused Florida law. They thought Florida law says a tie goes to the defendant. And you know what the problem is Twitter? It's like I think all these things are going to be gold as jokes, and sometimes they're not. I mean, many times they're not. But then there's a joke I do that I think, of course, I think it's hilarious, which is the problem with all my material. I want to make T-shirts that go, well, I laughed. Well, I enjoyed the show.
Right.
But I do this joke that Hitler used to refer to his enemies as haters.
Uh-huh.
See, you're not laughing either. But it's like that Hitler, the most vicious dictator in the world, would respond to people criticizing him by saying, they're just haters. And he is the greatest hater of all time.
Yes.
So I have to explain to you, it's ridiculous. Why can't everybody at least know where I'm going with a joke in my head?
You don't. I have to explain that to my girlfriend constantly.
About Hitler?
No.
She's like, I heard he was a pretty good guy. I say, no, he was not. Look, I don't trust the media. So he didn't like one group. Is that such a big deal? Actually, he didn't like many, many groups.
That's true.
He didn't like. He didn't like gypsies.
We don't talk about gypsies on this podcast. I'm sorry.
Well, I like to do my impression of Tavish Smiley.
Yeah.
He drives me nuts.
Why?
I just think he's because I'm a big Obama supporter, and he's turned on Obama viciously, and because Obama didn't, and I think, and other people have backed it up, because I remember him saying Obama didn't come to this. He does this black conference every year. It's not called the Black Conference, but and he wanted Obama to come there, and Obama didn't come there, so now he's like enraged.
Yeah.
So I do an impression of him. I'm Tavish Smiley. Today on the show, I have Cornel West, and I've got singer Cher, and she's gonna do her song, "Gypsies, Tramps, and Thieves." And people say to me, someone said to me, you're making fun of a black. That's not a black. His accent's not a black accent.
No,
it's his own.
No.
I'm Tavish Smiley.
Yeah.
I can't stand Cornel West either. Cornel West, do you know who he is?
Mm-mm.
He's a professor at Harvard, and he's calling Obama a war criminal because of the drone program.
Okay.
I'll try not to my foot is twitching.
Yeah,
I will try to avoid twitching it on the mic stand. But so he's called Obama a war criminal, and it just drives me nuts because I think so many people in this country right now, they make their conclusions not based on the actual facts, but what they've heard about the facts. Like everyone loves, people like. Everyone's trying to say this guy Snowden is a hero,
right.
But to me, he's like a writer tweeted to me that he has hero syndrome, and it's like, why do we think that we know what this guy's motivations are? His motivation could be he just wants to be famous,
That's true, yeah.
And so, but everybody says, "Oh, I like his conclusions." So, and they don't. And his conclusions are what? What do you know? What do you really know about what the NSA is doing? I'm not saying it's right, but nobody knows what's happening. So Cornel West, I called Cornel West and Tavis Smiley. They were Tavish Schmiley. They were touring, and I was calling them the Self-Righteous Brothers. But then other people go, oh, someone said that's racist. Why? Because the Righteous Brothers were so black? I'm writing down the ideas that I like from the podcast, like I always do.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Can I ask you about the Patton Oswalt thing with the you kind of hopped in on that, didn't you?
Yeah. Now the thing is, like wait a second. This is squeak squeak squeak. Yeah. The thing was that Patton Oswalt after the KVU, what was it, the station?
KTVU.
And that's out of San Francisco, or
that's correct.
Yeah. So someone at the NTSB was, the NTSB said an intern passed on what she thought was the real names of the people who were the pilots.
Yeah.
No, the pilots.
The pilots. That's right.
Yeah, and I don't know the exact ones.
Let's see. I think I have them here somewhere. It was Captain. Yeah, We Too Low. Holy Fook, as they said on the
exactly. So Patton tweets. He tweets that KTV. What's it called?
KTVU.
KTVU just hired a new PR person. We so solly.
Right.
So how can you not get that joke? That joke is a perfect joke because it's a joke about how they're so clueless at this TV station that they would not learn their lesson from having put out the information that was bad, and now they're trying to fix it by hiring a PR person. We so solly, so someone's fooling them again, and then Salon went after Patton for that.
Yeah, I didn't. Salon. Why would I have known about Salon?
That's exactly what everyone should be saying right now. Salon is an online place that there's one writer on there who I love. His name is Alex Perrine, at Perrine, Pareene, and he's brilliant because he's just writes about all the people I can't stand, and he's more articulate than me. But Salon is like, Joan Walsh is I think the editor, and it's like it's politics, entertainment, but I don't even like the way they are with politics because they're like kind of right down it's almost like they embrace whatever they think the political, the progressive agenda should be.
Okay. Yeah.
But they're going after Patton, and the thing is they're going after him and saying things like, they're basically saying he's saying it's a funny joke. I forgot exactly what he said, but he's saying it's a funny. I'm making a joke, and they're like, "Oh, well, yeah, like that's a funny joke. It's like 1992." And
yeah, it says. I have the thing from Salon here. It says, "Is a summer intern writing his new material." That was one of the shots they took at him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, about Patton stuff.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. And then here's the thing. I said to them they should know the field that they're. No, I want to hear the rest of them. They said they should know I said to Tweety that they should know the field that they're talking about. It's like, yes, there are comics who are gratuitously using tragedies to make a cheap joke. Everybody knows that that's not who Patton Oswalt is.
No,
it's like you can't argue against that he's hilarious. So I mean, maybe it's not some people's cup of tea, but to be saying it like he's some hack comic, it's just the worst. What else have they got?
Well, this is I printed this out. This is actually from their website, and this is their update as they're updating their list. Their readers on the back and forth between themselves.
Is this today?
And Patton. Oh, I think it was from yesterday.
Okay.
So hopefully this isn't too dated, but it says, this seems to be a night where it's clear, this is Salon.com talking, or whoever the writer, why race remains central and why crude and unsophisticated elementary school jokes about it need to be called out, no matter how bullying the joke's teller may be. So the reliability pedantic and thin-skinned Patton Oswalt wants to defend his poorly crafted joke rather than admit it fell short of being funny, and fired off a barrage of Twitter attacks against Salon all afternoon, most of them of the "you're so politically correct" variety that probably also weren't all that smart when he first told them in 1993.
Wait a second, that can't be this recent. Is it? Is it yesterday?
Probably.
So there's still everybody right now. Block Salon. I went to Salon to unfollow them.
Yeah.
But then I found out they were following me, so I tweeted that I'm still angry but flattered.
Not that angry.
Yeah, no, that's disgusting. Salon, apologize. You're being idiots.
Yeah.
The joke did not because this is exactly the time to do that joke. What are you going to do it 8 months from now?
Right.
The joke is about the TV station. It has nothing to do with racism or anything else. That's so ridiculous.
It says, let's start with the fact there's nothing less funny than analyzing jokes, but Oswald's slightly unhinged tweets are all based on a big lie. He claims now that the target of the joke is actually the Oakland TV station.
Of course, it was always the target of the joke.
Right, we already talked about that. Yeah. No one who, no one who laughed at the joke did so because he ripped the TV station a new one. No, they laughed at the actual punchline. We so sorry. Oswald's a savvy enough comic not to need a lesson in satire 101. But satire and irony in a joke like this are all about who is targeted. And the punchline is not about KTVU. It's targeting a funny Asian name and in a way that even Bart Simpson would have found tired and unoriginal.
When's the date on that? What does it say?
Let's see. Oh, no, it is from the weekend.
Oh, okay. All right.
Weekend.
So that's what he's responding to yesterday.
Yeah.
If they don't apologize, I encourage, if they don't apologize immediately for being the absolute, I hate to use the word stupid because a friend of mine who's a very brilliant comic explained to me how all the words that we use to describe people came from, like moron, all that stuff. It came from this psychologist in the early 20th century who was like evaluating people's intelligence level.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
So like for example, even something like Pinhead is actually based on that condition.
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm pointing to my head. So
you look fine.
So, but I could say thick, but these people are completely stupid. So if they don't apologize, I encourage everybody to just block them.
Yeah.
And don't read them,
Yeah.
which most people don't anyway.
Yeah, I didn't to begin with. So, I don't know. That's about enough on that.
No, you can tell me more.
Well, it says the chicken in this case is Patton. First, because if he really believes that this wasn't a joke about an Asian name targeting Asian people, he sure didn't stop anyone in his comments from crossing a racist joke line, a line which he at least only tiptoed up to himself. I waded through his Twitter feed for some time, and if Oswald asked for those jokes to stop, it happened. I love this. It happened after I crawled out of that cesspool.
What the fuck? Can we curse,
Yes.
Derek? What the f? I'm not afraid to say what the f or frickin'. I'm frickin' upset about this. So Patton is supposed to now control anybody who took the joke wrong. The thing that's so fundamentally wrong about this is that, yes, there are, and I talk about this all the time because I get in trouble online because I don't like, if something is not hilarious, it's like Dave Attell. He's hilarious. Mm-hmm. So it doesn't matter what he's saying to me. It's all politically incorrect, quote, but he's hilarious. If you're hilarious, all bets are off.
Yeah.
And so, yes, I'm sure there are comics who are doing pee-pee in my poo-poo, whatever the thing is with the Chinese thing, but that's not the joke. There's no way to not interpret that joke as completely right. That person should be, I'm telling you right now, that person should be fired. They're also they're hiding behind editorial.
Oh, really?
In other words, like there's no name on there.
Well, if the same guy as excuse me, David Daly?
Oh, David Daly, if that's you who's writing it, quit. Fired. Out of here. You're out of here. Clearing out your virtual desk.
Is that what happens when you get fired from a website?
Right. They tell you to change your IP number address. You're out of here. Turn in your I wish I could have one more. Turn in your external hard drives. Is that still a reference?
Yes.
Turn on your FireWire drive.
I recently bought an external hard drive, so I know that.
Now, in the old days, like the old dick joke comics, well, they're still around today. They would say, I'm having trouble with my external hard drive. If you know where I'm going with it.
You see what I'm talking about, little lady?
Yeah. Hello, this lady knows what I'm talking about.
Did do you always do the Acme week right before Montreal?
No, it just happens to be scheduled that way.
Yeah.
Because
last year was about this time,
same
wasn't it?
thing.
Yeah.
It just happened to be scheduled that way last year, and I think the year before. So it's more like, I love that it's before Montreal because it gets me, in the stand-up mode, which I perform, but sometimes I might not perform on the road for a few weeks. Mm-hmm. So I like it, but I think it's been the last 3 or 4 years.
Have you? When are you heading up there? Tuesday, you said?
Actually, this time, People love they write into the podcast all the time that they want more ice shaking during the podcast. They want the real stuff, the ambient sound. So this is what I hear often when a show isn't going well. Like from 40 yards away. How could I hear, how quiet in the room must it be that I can hear someone stir their ice? I once heard someone pick up a napkin at the back of the room. I'm going up Monday.
I once heard an eyelash land in the ground.
Yes. Who's batting an eyelash? Last night there was some stealth talkers here. Like they were like, every once in a while I would hear them, but it wasn't like they were doing it to the degree that only I was bothered by it. I don't want to be one of the crazy comics who's like, I will not continue until there's complete silence, and not silence just from my jokes. What were we talking about?
Montreal.
Oh, yeah. So I go up Monday. I'm hosting the alternative show there. And some guy slammed me online. They're like, oh, you have to admit that's the shittiest name ever. And then he deleted the tweet. Yeah. So I go right back to him. I saw your nasty tweet. Because what happened was when we first came up with the show, it's called The Alternative Show. It was in the late 90s.
Yeah.
And that was a time period where, like, today I think is a renaissance in comedy. Like, there's not, there's way less hacky people. There are hacky people, but there's way less division. You know, like, you can do different types of comedy now. But back then, all the comedy was, except for the alternative movement, was very mainstream. So I came up. They wanted me to come up with a name for the show, and I came up with all these like comedy mulligatawny and alternative beret, whatever. And then the head of the festival, Bruce Hill, said, just call it the Alternative Comedy Show. Then we called it the first 2 years were Comedy Lab.
Hey.
So we ended up with Alternative Comedy Show, and that's just been the name that it's always been.
Yeah.
So I host it. It's at midnight. It's Tuesday through Saturday in Montreal. And then Friday, which is the 26th, I give my speech of the state of the industry.
The 26th, the night I'll be seeing Jimmy Pardo here at Acme.
Oh, Pardo's going to be here?
Yeah.
Well, tell him to cancel because I'd like to do a satellite feed of my speech.
Fair enough.
Yeah, things should stop in Minneapolis. It's in the afternoon, too.
Oh.
So maybe everybody has to stop what they're doing at work and tune in.
Okay.
On C-SPAN. Comedy Span. Come on, folks. Those jokes are free. They're not funny, but they're kind of clever.
They're complimentary. Take two.
Compliment? Take two. Is someone pulling a straw up and down to their drink? Who's that at the back table who removed a cherry? Would you just remove the cherry like a little bit less loud? Hey, Mr. Taking my wallet out to pay the bill. I can hear the fabric rustling. No, I will not do a joke that makes the crowd laugh. I burn my C material when the check should drop. How you ladies doing? Everybody, this lady knows what I'm talking about. This guy over here's going, I wish I was the lady over there, and the guy in the back's going, I wish I was in the front, and the Asian guy's going, we so sorry, we so sorry. Hey, Salon, oh, we so sorry, because it's so funny to go, we so sorry.
Me too, Sally.
Me too, Sally. Because, Patton based his whole act on doing racial. It's so
he even does some things with his fingers, like make his eyes look.
Yeah. Right? Oh, yeah. Exactly.
I think he invented that. Is that correct?
Well, it's so funny that you said it because Lisa Lampanelli, who is maybe the worst comic since people started talking. Yeah. Even amongst the cavemen, she would have been considered a hack. But she just doesn't even try. She's like, oh, we got a couple of, what did she say? Like, I think she called someone slanty eyes or something like that. Correct me if I'm wrong. But it's like she doesn't even try to make it into something clever. Your eyes are so slanty, I'm surprised water doesn't go downhill. I mean, it's not even that. It's like, we got a black guy, we got a boomba, we got that. It's like she doesn't even attempt to make a joke. She just identifies the ethnic group and slams them. Oh, you're an Irish, you're Polish, huh? I guess you're not bright. All right. He's a stupid Polish guy. Are you so young you don't remember that the Polish people used to be used as jokes?
Stupid? I mean, not bright.
I don't believe that, but now we have to make up a new group of people like Salon would be a great place to make fun of. What are you? What, you're so stupid. What do you work for? Salon?
They were Polak jokes.
Polak. That. Oh, now I'm insulted. Derek, please remove that part from the podcast. This is a. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry about it.
Is Leno going to leave at the end of this?
I hope so.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, all these years, like did a joke last night that made me the reaction. I got to write it down too. I did this joke.
He really is writing something down.
I really am writing something down. I did this joke last night. I would like to do my impression of Jay Leno if he was a comedian. Jay Leno if he was a comedian, and woman yelled out, "Is that it? That's it?" So, all these years I've been making fun of Jay Leno, and soon, no matter what he does, he's going to be irrelevant. And that's the thing that's so beautiful about it. It's like it's like we shouldn't even go see movies. Reviewers shouldn't even go see movies. All they should do is wait for the box office to come in, because that's all they do. There's an article on Monday. It was like, "Oh, Grown Ups 2 gets the last laugh." Well, they don't get the last laugh from their comedy. You know, it's like they get their last laugh because they won at the box office. It's like these things do not matter. And history is written. No one's going to say, hate it, or really hate it. That Grown Ups 2. And so that's the same thing. It really raked it in. Same thing with Leno. Yeah. It's irrelevant what the ratings were.
Yeah. That's an excellent analogy.
It's irrelevant. Letterman is the man. And I don't just say that because I'm on his show. But I do say it because I'm on a show. And also, I love him. He's been my hero forever. And he's like, if you watch his show now, he's in the zone.
I agree.
He is the only person who can interview. I mean, he's not exactly like Johnny because he's different. I mean, I prefer Letterman to Johnny, although they're showing stuff on Turner Classic Movies every Monday now. They're showing old Carson things, and you
really,
yeah, it's great. I mean, it's
now I'm writing something.
Yeah,
down.
It's on TCM. I think at 5:00 on Mondays, and he's so great that it's like you forget how great he was, but he was great. But that's the way Letterman is. It's like Leno. I've always made the argument knows nothing about sports, knows nothing about music, so it's all about ambition. So it's over. He is now going to be even more irrelevant than he's been in the last 20 years.
Do you have anything going on with Fallon? Do you know him? Met him? Been on that show?
No, I make fun
Would
of
you.
Well, I make fun of Fallon because I say here's Fallon interviewing Stalin. Stalin, I heard you killed like 30 million people. That's crazy.
Big fan of your stuff.
Yeah. Well, yeah. It's like show me one person Fallon does not love.
No,
he's
I know.
like, those guys are great. Yeah. That show's great.
And I thought that was going to change because I watched that quite a bit when it first started, and now it's well past my bedtime, so I'd never catch anymore. But I did just a week ago because we're on vacation. I watched the beginning 2 nights in a row. It's the same thing. That I love everything hasn't changed.
Yeah, and then what do people like about him? That he does good impressions. He's a mimic. He's the world's greatest mimic. No one ever said about Johnny Carson, "Oh, I watched it because he's a great song and dance man."
Yeah,
you know?
No, they didn't.
It's like Jimmy Fallon. Oh, he does a great Bono. Well, then go do music, Jimmy Fallon. Don't tell us because you couldn't, you're not an original enough voice to have your own band. Now you're going to sneak it back in with your mimicking, with your incessant mimicking.
Birds can mimic.
Birds can mimic. There's a parrot I know who's got more personality than you.
He's get a talk show on
I love
Fox.
the movie. Love the movie. It's great. How's a parrot sound? Love it. Love it. Love it. That guy's great. That guy's great.
Thanks for being on.
When is this going to drop so I can take all my material here and just use it next week? When's it going to drop?
This week, but no one will hear it. So.
No, I want to hear it.
Oh, yes. You'll hear it today.
Now, I heard your podcast is only available through subscription.
That's right.
It's $49. And that's only gets you 5 of the past episodes.
You need to be friends with my parents, and then you're in.
Do you guys have a www thing going on?
Yep.
HTTP?
Yep.
And it's called The Laugh Track.
Something like
.com.
Yeah.
All right.
Podbean.
Hosted
on Podbean. iTunes.
Hosted on Stitcher.
Not on Stitcher.
Oh, we're not?
I don't think so.
What is Stitcher?
I don't know. That's a other podcast hosting site.
Well, I have an iPhone. I'm not bragging. It's just the way it went down.
Hey.
And there's a thing where you can organize all your it's there like it's called podcasts.
I have that, yeah.
But it's all you're doing. They're just aggregating whatever you have on your iPhone. I think. I don't know anything about. You know what? I take back everything I've ever said about technology.
Which iPhone are you on?
I'm on the. I used to have a joke. I had a first generation iPhone, and AT&T was the provider, so I'm still downloading the results of the Gore-Bush election, 2000. I have the iPhone 4. I don't even think it's the 4S.
Oh, okay.
And I enjoy it. Although one of my heroes is Tom Sharpling. I don't know if you listen to the best show on WFMU.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And he has the greatest ears in the world. His ears are like. It's got ears like he can hear anything, and he just is always talking about how terrible the iPhone sounds, which it does sound terrible. So I like everything else about it, but the phone's not great.
Did you hear about the woman they're saying it exploded when she was talking on it over the weekend?
That happens to me a lot because
China.
I'm so funny. Is it really true?
I don't know. They claim that she was talking on an iPhone 5 and it exploded.
I heard she was also sitting in a pot on the stove and in water, and it was simmering.
And?
Yes, I heard she was doing it. I don't know if it's true. I heard that she's a firefighter, and she was talking on the phone in the middle of a burning building. She was getting her text messages, and it exploded. Is the woman alive? Let's
say she is, so we don't feel bad. I don't remember.
Why do you set me up for tragedy?
How did it end with
Derek? This is ridiculous. Now people are going to think I so Sally.
There you go.
I so Sally. Okay, I apologize. I thought she didn't die.
I don't think she did.
Okay, if she's in the ICU, I will go on with this hilarious material. I apologize to her and her family, but some people, I'm sure, people. Apple are saying that's what happens.
You didn't have the anti-explosion app.
That's right. How long were you talking on it for? Yeah. Our phone's hot.
Hey, I was actually listening to you and Lewis talk about Marin. Let's talk about Marin, you being on that show.
That's the greatest thing. It's a dream come true. I love his show. I love him. He has been so supportive. He didn't have to put me on his show. He's seen my acting. We're very I love him, and we're very close, and I'm just thrilled about all the things that's happening for him. And the thing is, I love his show because it's showing him. I love, I have a big gripe with shows like Curb Your Enthusiasm and Louie, where it's like, like the first season of Louie was so funny to me when you would see him just interacting with comedians, and same thing with Curb Your Enthusiasm. Like the part where he's talking with Richard Lewis is great, but then they always have to do some kind of crazy thing or surreal, and I love that Mark Maron has some surreal moments, but Maron really reflects his personality, how he is. I think they did a great job of that.
I think that you don't like when they bring kids into shows.
Who's the kids in the? What's?
I don't know.
Are you talking about 8 is Enough? That show holds up. You know what show I can't get enough of because I won't watch it is. I'm writing that down because I'm writing these things down so I don't have to listen back.
You're writing. You were on 2 episodes of Marin, correct?
Right. I can't get enough because I don't watch it. I can't get enough because I don't watch it of that How I Met Your Mother.
Oh.
Yeah.
I used to love that show.
Did you really? But you're off of it now, right?
I am off of it.
You're in a rehab unit? What they do is they put you through, it's like withdrawal. A lot of people get withdrawal when they watch a shitty show like that.
I just go back to episodes of Doogie Howser so I can still get my fix of...
Yeah, I love him. But the thing I was doing a joke about, because Gallagher... I don't know if I wasn't doing this last year. Gallagher, he's had like a series of heart attacks.
Correct.
And so the last time... he was in a medical coma. They induced a medical coma, which is achieved by watching back-to-back episodes of Guys with Kids. And nobody knows what that show is now because it was a Jimmy Fallon joint.
It was?
Oh yeah, terrible. And but no one watched it. So now I've substituted How I Met Your Mother because I think it's just one of those shows that's always on, and I don't know what it's about. And it's a. So anyway, I said that Gallagher, because they reported that when he woke up out of the coma, he started cracking jokes, and I said what they didn't include was for the first time. I'm not afraid to go after Gallagher.
God damn, I wish I would have brought the. I have a Gallagher button.
Yeah.
That my dad is an antique.
That's the funniest thing I've ever heard. That's the funniest thing I've ever heard. My dad's an antique collector, so he has a button of Gallagher who was 90 years old.
Well, here's the thing, my dad, he gets, he buys his stuff from, thrift stores, Goodwill, other garage sales. And so somebody, I don't even know where he got it, but he was having his own garage sale a few weeks ago, and I went over right after it was done, and it was 3-day garage sale, and he was trying to...
Gallagher was the only thing left? The Gallagher button? I'll give you $2 to take it. I don't want it. I'm afraid I'll cut myself with it. I will give you $17 to take this. What does the button say?
Well, it's just black and white. So I mean, this thing is vintage. This is not Gallagher
This is not
2.
your father's.
This is not. This is the real deal from whenever that was, and it was one of the few things left from 3 days of the garage sale. I think he had $1 on it. No one would buy it for $1. I ended up buying it. I was like, Dad, I gotta have this. And if it's my dad, I know I could have walked away with it. I said, just because I love it so much, I'm going to give you $2.
Oh, see, I thought it went the other way. Were you trying to, you could chop down the price? Dad, I like it. I don't love it. It was 75 cents.
Come on, there's no one left.
There's no one left. What are you going to do with it? What are you going to do? Go to a Gallagher show and try and sell it outside? Who needs a button? One button. Got one button. Got a button.
So the button is it's black and white, and it's one of those where it's not really a technology that's I think even used anymore because it's so old. But probably when this button was first made, it was that where you would tilt it, and then you would see like two different images.
You'd see the fruit smashed in one.
Yes.
Are you kidding me?
No.
So what was it? It would be what would the normal set point
It's him,
be?
like mallet up.
Oh, that.
And then you tilt it, and it's smash.
I have to tell you that is worth something. Your dad. I don't want to insult him, but he doesn't know what he's doing with the Gallagher memorabilia. My parents were antique dealers.
Yeah.
Joan and Larry Kindler Antiques, and my mom, who I love, and she's still alive. My mom is 84. She was like one of the foremost country people in like baby dolls.
Yeah.
And
an expert.
No, she would deal dolls.
Yeah.
She dealt them, and she knew what they were, and also stoneware in the old days. What's your dad mostly collect?
A lot of really, well, I wouldn't say collect. He tries to resell art that was really
like the Keen.
No, it's art from thrift store art. I don't know.
You have
who
a
has
look
an
on your
eye
face that your dad will never recover after he hears this.
I think he knows. I think he knows my feelings about it.
Is it he did it as a profession?
No. He's a retired teacher.
Oh, okay.
This is just filling his time.
But is the 40-year-old art moving?
I think occasionally it does. He also a lot of glassware.
Oh, that's nice.
Glass.
Yeah.
And books. Old books.
Good. That's cool.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
He has a few garage sales every year. Makes a little money.
Just
keeps my mom off his back a little bit for a few more months.
Yeah. Does he have art? I've seen these paintings where like it's a painting of a bird, but they'll take a 3-dimensional wooden bird onto the canvas,
yes,
and then they'll draw the little bird legs.
Yeah.
Is that kind of stuff?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I would love to have that hanging in my garbage.
I was going to say, it's a lot of stuff that doesn't. It was probably at one point in someone's house, then maybe went up to the cabin for the summer home, then went to the cabin's bathroom.
This is the Unabomber we're talking about, right?
That's where this artwork...
Unabomber loved folk art. That was the other side to him that people didn't know. He mailed people things that exploded, but he also did a lot of quilting.
Birdseed
seeding.
art.
Yeah, birdseed art. He it's not all one thing, even though he's the Unabomber.
Hey,
I'm on fire in the afternoon. I will peak by 6 p.m. and by 8 p.m. tonight, it's all we so Sally. Are we so Sally? And I get the audience. We so crowd. Sally.
I say you split that up even to two sides of the crowd.
Right. The first half the crowd goes da 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 da.
Sally.
And then the rest of that goes, oh, so Sally. Oh, and I do that for 45 minutes until I'm pulled off the stage. Oh. That's the general Robin Williams sound of any impression. Oh.
Are you a Robin fan? I forgot. Do I know the answer?
No.
To this? No.
The short answer is no. The long answer is hours of material about him.
I know. Hey, I was looking at now this actually means something to me because my kids have got, I have Netflix, so they're well aware of Wizards of Waverly Place.
This is the greatest development that has ever happened in my quote career, or with career with a K.
Yeah.
Is I was on this show as Chancellor Rudy Tooty Tooty. And like a couple nights ago in a restaurant, this little girl comes up with her parents. I mean, it's the greatest thing in the world.
Really?
This is my new demographic. People love me. They love me from 8 to 12 and from 55 to 75. I'm working the niche market. So I play a couple episodes of that, and then I'm on a new show, one episode of Crash and Bernstein, which features the hilarious Ron Funches. You know Ron Funches?
Yeah, he's a comedian, right?
Yeah, he's hilarious. He's from Portland, now lives in L.A.
Who else is on? Wait, Crash and Bernstein. Is that the
Puppet? It's on. It'd be, how old is your kid?
5 and 7.
Okay, so they might watch
Girls.
Disney. It's not even. It's not Disney regular. It's Disney Kids.
Okay.
Yeah, it's on Disney Kids.
They're too old. They're too mature for that. I'm sorry.
I think 5 would be good.
No, probably. You know what? We have this.
They'd like How I Met Your Mother at 5. I like it, Daddy, because it's just funny. People look funny on it. Is that a great impression?
I drink every time they drink.
And now
They drink a lot on that show.
son?
I have 2
daughter?
daughters.
Two daughters.
Yeah.
And they are aware of wizards?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Should they not be?
I think so. Maybe it's, especially if you're a kiddo and you're watching kid stuff and you're going to see that now repeated, because the show's over because Selena Gomez is like over 18 or 19 or 20 or something now.
I hope so from those pictures I was looking at.
Oh, is there some?
I don't know.
Oh.
I just assume that there are. I don't know.
She's a very sweet person, so thanks for getting me in hot water.
I'm sorry.
I'm going negative on you. I am enraged.
You're taking her on the road, I hear.
Who?
Selena Gomez.
Yeah, because she said I could tour stadiums and make millions of dollars, or I could do a co-headlining thing with Andy.
Unplugged.
Yeah. I said, Selena, I don't know. I get a bonus if we sell out. Selena, I need the green room to myself. I can't hear any laughs.
Well, they
You do sweeten the show though, right?
Oh yeah, we put in we put in all the sound effects.
But it's splendid.
It's me and like 4 other people.
Do you do a lot of sound effects like the Morning Zoo guys?
I like the slide whistle.
Woo!
Mm-hmm. Is Bob's Burgers, is that done?
No,
it's strong.
What
night's it going to be
very
on this fall?
popular. What's that?
What night is it going to be on?
I don't know. I didn't know they were changing it. It's on Sunday now at 8:30.
Well, it's Fox. They change everything all the time.
But Fox is very high on it, which doesn't sound good. Because Fox is a terrible organization. Except Fox TV is nothing like Fox News. Fox News
Correct.
is just an evil outfit of evil people.
Do those shows ever ask you to be the counterpoint?
Yes, but I don't want to go on. Like Red Eye, I can't stand that guy on Red Eye. I literally cannot watch him. Greg Gutfeld.
Yeah, that's
But
right.
I love Andy Levy. Andy Levy is like one of the funniest people on Twitter, and he does the halftime report in that show on the Red Eye show.
Yeah.
But I will not go on it. And initially they asked me, and I was thinking about doing it, and I started to watch the show, and it's just unwatchable. There's no legitimacy to me to the point of view that anybody on Fox News has. I don't want to watch any show that has Ann Coulter on it as a regular.
Yeah.
It's just I don't need it in my life. But if I could just get Andy's halftime thing, because he's so funny. Yeah. And he really is like I think it's at Andy Levy. He really is amazing on Twitter.
Gretchen Carlson on Fox News. Do you know who that is?
Yeah, I've seen it. Her.
She was Miss USA, Miss America.
Well, you can't argue with that.
Minnesota's own.
Well, you can't argue with any of that.
Yeah.
But she's also. Does she say terrible things on the?
I assume so. I don't really watch.
It's a talk about cesspools. That's a cesspool.
Hey,
Fox News.
that's right.
I know this is controversial in Minnesota. I'm sorry. Deal with it. Minnesotians. I don't like right-wing propaganda. Well, of course, Norm Coleman was the senator here. I can't even believe that he could have been. I see Jesse Ventura way before I see Norm
Really?
Coleman. Yeah, because Jesse Ventura is like, I'm a cat. Oh, James Adomian. If anybody, you know him?
He's been on this
Oh,
podcast.
he's the greatest comic. If I could, I would retire right now if it meant that his profile will go up, which it is right now. Oh, didn't he do like Jesse Ventura on like for an hour on a station here when he was? That's what I heard or something.
I probably.
Maybe he did it on the podcast.
He did some Jesse here for like the first 20 minutes.
So
At
great.
the end of the podcast, I brought along a Dr. Seuss book. Not The Cat in the Hat, but another Dr. Seuss book. And I had him read some passages out of the Dr. Seuss book as Sam Shepard.
As Sam Shepard?
Sam Shepard.
How could he even? What does he sound like, Sam Shepard?
You know who that,
I
that's
don't very well because when I was in college in the old days before there was electricity, phones, and you had to walk 20 miles to get the premise and another 30 miles to get the punchline of jokes, I was in a college play called Mad Dog Blues, and I was a musician before I was a comedian, so I wrote all the music. He did this great thing where he wrote a play and he had music in the original play, but you could do the play and change the music for the lyrics that he included. So I had written all this music because that's what I did before stand-up was I was a writer and a singer-songwriter. So I wrote all these songs. And so when I first came out to L.A. and I thought, if I could just meet Sam Shepard and he could hear these songs I wrote, he'd love them, So
Really?
but I don't know what he really sounds like.
Oh. What he really sounds like.
No, I don't. I like seeing him in movies and things.
Yeah.
You know about Sam Shepard? That's what the same guy, right?
Yeah.
But I don't have get an ear of what his voice sounds like.
The beef. It's what's for dinner.
See, that's how great Adomian is that he can find the what the essence is. Of course, I can't even do my act anymore since he does his impression of me. You've heard that one, right?
Yes.
I'm staying at the Westin. Because there's no more room at the Easton? What's the matter? You don't like my cardinal directions humor? He is the funniest man on the planet.
I was so excited when he was going to be on the podcast. It was great.
Yeah. But enough about other people.
So-
I mean, how about me and what I'm doing?
What's your favorite thing about every other comedian in the... No.
Are you doing is that your James, the guy who does the Actor Studio? What sound is the greatest? You haven't watched him?
Yeah. Lipton. James Lipton.
Yeah, he always intros it with, I would like to now, the famous questionnaire from Benapivo.
What is your favorite curse word?
Fuck. What is your favorite sound in the world? Ka-ching! Because I'm a Jew, I like money.
I was talking to Dave Mordahl, comedian Dave Mordahl with you.
Oh, he's great.
Yeah, this morning about you, telling him I was
Get out of here.
excited to talk to you later today, right now. And he's like, he goes, yeah, Kindler. Yeah, he goes, I did an open mic with him once in, I'm going to say Texas, but I don't really remember what he said. He goes, yeah, and we all had there was a bet going that we all had to say fuck on stage.
That's so funny.
So that's what he remembers is that you had to say
he's
fuck
so
on
funny,
stage.
Man. I love that guy.
Yeah.
I love that guy. Hey, I'm like Mafallon now. I love that guy.
He's good. I love
that guy.
Everything does. Love
He
him.
was on Last Comic Standing, right?
Yeah.
And he was hilarious on that
Yeah.
show.
Yeah. He was on several different
He's
seasons.
very funny.
Yeah.
Let's talk about other people we can promote. No.
Let's talk about other people we can promote. How about
But it wouldn't be funny if after the podcast I just started screaming at you about don't you ever bring up out of here. What if I was
is this your passive aggressive way of telling me that?
Well, this is like how Todd Glass always goes, what if I did this? What if I did that?
Yes. Yeah.
What if I did this?
What if I not that's gonna happen, but what if I did?
He's hilarious too. I can't separate these people who I think, to me, like Todd Glass, there's nobody funnier than him. So there's like a pantheon of like 10 people, I could say, or maybe 15, 20 people that are all equally hilarious. Not quite as good as me, though.
This week's headliner at Acme, Candy Indler. Let's talk about Taylor Swift.
Oh, I don't know anything about her. What is she doing?
I don't either, except that this is just a story I saw this morning that there's a T-shirt company that was selling a shirt. Oh, wait. No, it was Abercrombie & Fitch. You and I both shop there. Handsome,
Yeah.
handsome guys
You know what? I'm a big fan of Abercrombie. Don't like Fitch.
Asshole. That guy's an asshole. He. They're selling a T-shirt that has names of all of Taylor Swift's ex-boyfriends. It says Jonas and Till and Lautner and Mayer and Gyllenhaal and Redmayne and Efron and Kennedy and Stiles. And
Who's Styles?
I don't know. I don't know who most of those people are. Jonas is obviously a Jonas brother.
I know what fall styles means.
So she's upset, and she's making her people are making them stop selling this.
Well, I
this
don't.
T-shirt because it's she's offended. Even though the whole thing with her, people she mock her because she has a relationship and then writes songs.
Right? Yeah.
I want to know from you, Andy Kindler, how many names would be on the T-shirt they were selling?
Cook, Dane Cook. Well, what else is just the name and a picture of Taylor Swift?
No, just the names.
And it's just out of context, which is my big. I know I'm not the first person to talk about this, but my big gripe with the kids today is they wear a T-shirt and you go, "Oh, have you been to Schmoopy's bowling alley?" No, they don't even know what's on the T-shirt.
Yeah,
because in my day, the T-shirt we knew it was from Schmeckel's Bar, and we went there, and you bought a T-shirt. The kids today, they don't know from that.
You can go to Target and buy one that just says like sea salt salty dogs.
My favorite
restaurant.
Yeah,
that's not. It
doesn't exist. Have you seen these commercials? They have that Walmart commercial where the people. What if I told you that fruit was from Walmart? And they go, "Oh, get out of here!"
Yeah.
They have an African American guy, and he's going, "I can't believe it." There's not one black person in the entire country who's ever reacted to something at Walmart by like, "I can't what? Fruit at Walmart? Get out of here! You're pulling my chain." All I think about is how everything they probably. When I see fruit at Walmart, I think of some guy in the field working for 3 cents a year.
Yeah.
And then they still like grind the guy the distributor's price.
Oh no!
And then they tell their people, "Look, healthcare. What are you nuts?
What do you want? Vacation?
Yeah. What is this? A charity event?"
What are we giving things for free? So, Andy, how many names would? Let's say you were selling T-shirts. Somebody was selling T-shirts down the street from here with Andy Kindler's ex-girlfriends. How many names?
My ex-girlfriends.
Yeah. Like hers is the ex-boyfriend.
Oh, I thought you were doing with like comics I made fun of.
But do that too.
Oh, well, there would be Patty would be on there, and then the T-shirts wouldn't be moving. What's the matter? Gail. I went out with Gail in college. Gail. Are you seriously telling me that people walking around with a name? Oh, there must be Taylor Lautner.
No, it just says no.
Taylor?
It says Jonas. I'm reading it just what it says. Actually, not even the and. It just says Jonas, Till, Lautner, Mayer.
Oh, I see. It's all on one shirt.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that makes sense then. That's a great shirt. It would be Patty, Gail, Amy. What do you think?
I want one.
Let's move it. Because everyone knows what my background. Everyone's like tuned into what's happening with me.
I'd love to have one. These are you guys aren't in on this. You don't know Andy Kindler?
Yes. Yeah. What if they were all like Israeli names? Which I can't think of one Israeli woman name. What's a Jewish name? In my case, it would be Bob, Harry, Richard. I'm joking that I used to be gay. Gay. Until my wife, to my current wife, whose name is Beard. Huh? Come on. These are great jokes before gay marriage. My wife would not gay marry me. I begged her to.
Is she in town with you this time?
No, she's not.
No.
Because she's resting up because she's going to Montreal next week. So it's enough already with all the trips. No, but she loves Minneapolis, though. We had so much fun because she's a photographer, so we took great pictures. I can always forget that little town that's over on the other side of the river.
You better not be talking about St. Paul.
No. It's right near here. It's like a name of it, like a village.
St. Anthony?
Might be. I don't know. But it was beautiful over there. And there's all like breweries and... Yeah, there's an old brewery over there.
Oh, the Grain Belt? Right over here? Yeah.
Yeah.
By the river.
But on the other side.
Yep.
Yeah,
they
what's that
call
called?
St. Anthony.
Okay, maybe it was St. Anthony.
Village, something
like that.
Yeah. Nye's Polonaise Room.
What's that mean?
That's a restaurant you need to go into.
Nyes?
Nyes, N-Y-E''S.
I thought you were saying there's a nice Polynesian room.
You'll love it, Andy.
Is it food or is it
very nice?
Is it Polynesian drinks?
No.
All drinks that have a little umbrella. I only like umbrella drinks. I only like a drink under an umbrella. This is great. This is all wordplay. It's bad, but it's coming at you rapidly.
I want to go back.
Derek fell asleep in the booth about a half hour ago.
I heard him chuckle.
A half hour ago.
I heard him chuckle.
He's listening to He's listening to who could I make fun of whose podcast he'd be listening to while he's recording this podcast? I can't think.
He's listening to that other one.
The George Lopez podcast.
Bilingual podcast.
Lopez.
Lopez. Let's go back to Twitter. Did you hear about what the Pope is doing to get more Twitter followers?
He was offering Pope T-shirts with his ex-wives on it.
Yes, that's right.
Damani Damanumu.
He's translating "I'm so sorry" to Hebrew.
Right.
No. He can do it in 6 or 15 languages.
Is he doing like encouraging people to do polls? What do you think about abortion? Why would he talk like that? What's he doing?
He is the Pope on Twitter during National World Youth Day. It's a week-long event, July 23rd to the 28th, and he's saying that if he gets more followers on Twitter, the Vatican is offering indulgences.
What the hell is that? This is a joke.
No,
it's not true.
I swear, no. It's according to the Guardian, that website.
Oh, the Guardian. That's the Snowden website.
When the Pope gives someone an indulgence...
Were you quieting me down?
Yes.
What did you do there? How did you tell me to stop? That's great.
You're ruining my story's credibility.
You know what? Maybe I should think about in the future letting someone get a word in edgewise.
It says...
this is an interview? It's not me just going on and on about myself?
When the Pope gives someone an indulgence, it reduces the amount of time they spend in purgatory after they die before they make their trip to the afterlife. So, in other words, if you follow the Pope on Twitter, he'll fast-track you to heaven.
Yeah, this is true. Then I want to be on this bus.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't want to spend a lot of time in purgatory, or as I like to call it...
Cleveland.
Yes! Purgatory. Have you ever been to...
Detroit? Come on. You had a better one, I'm sure. I'm sorry.
I had nothing. Okay. Well, what's it? Well, if I wanted to make fun of a small town near here, what would I make fun of? St. Paul?
Coon Rapids. St. Paul. That's my town.
I'm not saying Coon Rapids ever in my life. All right? That can't be good.
It's too close to something bad, yeah.
Well, it is something bad.
Yeah, well.
I know, it didn't mean that.
You could say Anoka.
Oh, what are you people from Anoka? This table's not getting it. What are you from Anoka? Are you really from a place called Coon Rapids?
I'm not.
Oh, but it's Coon?
Yeah.
Is it from raccoon or from someone named Coon?
I believe raccoon.
Oh, okay.
Gotta be.
Well,
Derek, did you comment there? Raccoon.
Well, call it Raccoon. Change the name of your town. Coon is a bad name now. It's been ruined. Call it Rack Rapids.
Rack Rapids. The Pope has 2.7 million Twitter followers.
So do I. No. Am I competing with the Pope now? Is that what I'm doing?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, great. Yeah. Great. The Pope. Oh, I can't offer indulgences in the afterlife. Oh, great. If I could offer something in the afterlife, I'd have more followers.
Did I read that you're recording a CD soon?
Yes, on AST Records.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
Hey.
So that's going to be happening in. Well, we haven't signed the final deal. Because I don't like to read anything like contracts, but it'll probably be in August.
In August,
yeah. Because the only thing I've ever released myself is the DVD, which is I Wish I Was Bitter, which is still available on my website. And now we look at it as like a vintage. It's like your dad does with the Gallagher buttons. It's a vintage. Why go with something new when you can see a show I did in 2003? This is the first thing I've released since that.
If my dad finds one of those, I will let you know. One of your DVDs.
He'll say, it's too old. It's not as gimmicky as the Gallagher button. If I find out that your dad is selling one of my DVDs at his antique sale, that will crush me emotionally. Who's there? What's your dad's name?
Jan.
Jan, who's this? What's this DVD that you're selling for 13 cents? I don't know this guy. He's a cult favorite. I don't know. Can I see if it plays? I mean, he's the jokes.
He's the guy. He's the guy that does those street things on Leno.
Yeah. Jaywalking.
Yeah.
I do the headline. I write all the headlines on Leno. That's my thing. Hey, man buried in a lavatory. It's a misprint.
What else was I gonna ask?
All the great podcasts. The person running the podcast looks at their watch, which is what's happening.
I don't want to. Derek has somewhere to be at.
Oh, that's right. No, yeah. If you go by me, I'd be here for the rest of the afternoon. Come on, fellas. This is great.
Oh, here's the one I wanted to ask you about. Did you see this one? The highest paid actors in Hollywood. They listed them.
No.
The new Forbes list just came out. Who do you think's the highest paid actor?
I would say
this is what they made last year, 2012. Between June 2012, June 2013. Go ahead.
Annette Funicello?
No, she
is dead.
Did she die? She did die.
She did.
Yeah, Annette.
Is it Taylor Lautner? Is it who would be in a movie? Is it Channing Tatum?
No, but he's number 2.
Oh,
nice
good.
job, Andy.
That's my wife's favorite name that makes no sense to her.
What do you
mean? Why? How could you name yourself
Channing Tatum?
Well, is that real name?
Can't be.
It's like what is that? It's crazy.
Channing
Tatum. Although I always make fun of that movie Magic Mike, which I never saw, but then people say, "Oh, it's good." I don't know.
I'm not going to.
I mean, I love watching men strip. Let's not get crazy.
I like to do it in a group though, not on the DVD on TV.
Well, that's why I'm wearing just a Speedo during this interview. Because I thought I was going to do my strip bit.
It's funny because I almost tweeted this morning, doing the podcast with Andy Kindler today, wonder if he'll show up in shorts. For some reason, I didn't think you'd wear shorts.
I know. To me, it was like a big choice, too. I hope I'll be okay with the shorts over there. Yeah.
I actually did.
I have sexy gams. Let's not kid ourselves. And what I do is I lotion them up real so they're glistening. That's what the ladies like. Ooh, that guy has sweaty legs.
I don't want to look because I might not look away.
Here's a joke that didn't work last night.
Yeah, go.
It was like I have combination skin, part blotchy, part splotchy, part oil. They don't know what the other part is. I have combination skin, 36, 12, 18. Nothing. Got nothing. Do the kids say they don't have combination locks? Is that the problem is? Or is it the joke? So who's the highest paid?
I did have to explain a combination lock to one of my kids 2 weeks ago, so it's funny.
Are they not around?
My oldest is 7. She is not using one yet.
Oh, okay.
They were pretty fascinated by it, though.
Yeah. The thing is, I always encourage parents to, like, if your kid's like 2 years old, to give them like a metal combination lock to play with. The kids love it.
And then also get one that does a key, but give them a whole set of keys.
Yes. Night watchmen love to have their kids play with their keys.
It's like a rattle. Let's go to the. We'll start at 10 and go to 1. See if you have any comments on these people. Number 10, he made $32 million. Liam Neeson. Who's the guy who came out and all of a sudden was like anti-gay? That's not Liam Neeson, right? I don't think so.
Do you know what I'm talking about? Anybody know? It's like a British actor who's a famous. I think Liam Neeson is a great actor, so I'm mixing it up. $32 million. That's surprising to me because he's a great actor, but
in a lot of movies.
Yeah. Okay.
Must not give him. I think he signs for whatever they'll give him.
The guy I'm talking about used to be on an old show on PBS. I'll figure it out who it is. No, so that's I can see Liam Neeson's face now, so that makes sense.
Denzel Washington, $33 million.
Well, you can't argue with that. I mean, I don't go to see his movies that much because I don't like action movies.
Tom Cruise, action movies, $35 million.
Well, Tom Cruise. How can you not like Jack Reacher? Did you see Jack Reacher?
No.
Oh.
You didn't either.
No, but I imagine the plot line is, look at that criminal. He's up on a high ledge. There's no way to get him down. There is if you call Jack Reacher. I'm afraid to look around this corner to see where the bad guy is. Jack Reacher can do it. He doesn't have superpowers, but his neck is very flexible. He's got a flexible spine. Yeah, if Tom Cruise never made another movie, although here's how you know Jimmy Fallon is just full of shit, because he has Tom Cruise on there as a Scientologist, and they're laughing it up by playing Let's Walk Across the Stage or trying not to drop an egg.
Oh boy, that happened?
No, but they're playing some stupid. What Jimmy Fallon does is he plays games. My wife says the show's aimed for 12-year-olds.
He plays college games, like beer pong. I've seen that.
Yeah, stop it. Stop what you're doing, Jimmy. and don't stop and think. Just stop it.
Stop the car.
Stop the car. We're turning around.
Number 7, Adam Sandler, $37 million.
No comment. Well, Grown Up. Have you seen Grown Ups 2?
Not until I see the first one. I want to know
Yeah.
if they fit together.
Will those guys ever grow up comedically? In the first movie, they gave away Maseratis to all the actors. Adam Sandler did.
I did, yes.
Yeah, to even drive it home as a piece of shit that just you get a free car from. So this new movie, he's giving out all the cast members funny cars. So at least they can prove that they're capable of provoking people to laugh by having a funny car. Every one of those actors should be just ashamed of. Chris Rock, what is he thinking? Does he not know? He must know. But it's like, why does Chris Rock need a paycheck? Stop it. Stop making terrible movies. You are one of the greatest comics of all time. Stop doing terrible things. I don't think Chris Rock knows that they're terrible.
Doesn't he? He must have somebody that tells him. Apparently not.
No, he's doing it for the money. I mean, what else? What other reason? There's this certain kind of a collegial, or that's the wrong word. Those guys who hang out together, Sandler, and I think David Spade's very funny.
Mm-hmm.
I do too. And I loved when he did the Showbiz Show, and remember Nick Swartzen was on there with
Kenny Kajagoogoo, whatever it was.
Well, he also that's where I first heard it's redonkulous. Yeah, it was on that show. So Spade's
teeny. That was another thing.
So that was I think he's hilarious. Yeah. But all those guys are just like part of some frat fraternity that would have frat fraternity. That's not right. That they would have. I'm sure they would have given me a wedgie if I was growing up with them. I don't relate to any of this misogynistic crap. Maybe It's not misogynistic, but it seems that way.
Number 6, Leonardo DiCaprio, $39 million.
Which one is he? Yeah, he's okay. I don't know. I can't make fun of him. He's done some good work that I can't think of in the moment. He did that one thing, You Can Count on Me, was a great movie. I think no, that's not the name of the movie. It's a movie where he was like a guy who forged. Try and Catch Me. Catch me if you can. He was great in that.
Mm-hmm. I did see that one.
But he was wonderful in that one.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Well, now we take a big step here. $46 million.
Well, he could beat me up. So what am I going to say?
No, he's good. We've had him.
Does he smell what you're cooking? Is that the guy?
He does, with his eyebrow up.
Oh, okay.
Just the eyebrow thing.
But he's kind of a funny guy.
Yeah,
right?
I like him. Very, very.
He has a sense of humor about himself.
He does.
Yeah,
really good. How about this guy? Does he have a sense of humor about himself? Mark Wahlberg, $52 million last year.
Again, a guy who would crush me with one punch. So I'm always afraid to go.
Would you ever cross paths with Mark Wahlberg?
Well, no, but I did love him in was it Magnolia or no Boogie Nights?
Boogie Nights.
He was great in Boogie Nights.
Yeah.
I tried to watch Ted. Have you tried to watch Ted?
I hated it.
It's so terrible, and it's not his fault.
No,
it's a Seth MacFarlane joint. Who did what a fabulous job. The main thing with people hosting the Oscars, make sure to pick people who have no stand-up experience at all and just throw them in there. It's Seth MacFarlane. He's got a big following. Who cares if he has no idea how to perform? He's like one of these guys, now I'm rich now. I'm going to be a crooner now. I'm a crooner. He sings and stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. I apologize for everything, including my early comedy.
Hugh Jackman, number 3 on this list, $55 million.
I just don't understand. I mean, I have nothing against him. I just don't get anything he does.
No.
I hated Those Miserables. I couldn't even watch it. Was he in that one? Those Miserables?
I think he was in Those Miserables. It was one of those where they sing. Then we did Channing Tatum, number 2, which I
have no problem. He seems like a funny guy, actually, but I don't know. Nope. I heard that 21 Jump Street was good, right?
Didn't see it, but yeah.
With Jonah Hill.
Jonah Hill, I've heard that as well. Number 1 on this list, he made the most money out of all the actors. Robert Downey Jr., $75 million.
Robert Downey Jr. is a I think one of the greatest actors of all time, and he did that movie with called Wonder Boys. That's my favorite movie he was ever in. Was Wonder Boys with Michael Douglas.
Yeah,
as a college professor, and Robert Downey Jr. was amazing in that. But I used to have no interest in these Iron Man 12, and I tried to watch Iron Man. I just don't care about it.
I've tried.
So look at my control panel.
There's no doubt that I'm a total nerd, but I can't. I've fallen asleep twice trying to watch Iron Man. I've yet to see it.
The first one was okay. I saw it in the movie theater, but I just don't care about it. And the worst to me is the Avengers. Like, you see, in the Avengers, like, Robert Downey Jr., he points his finger and I guess something comes out. I mean, I don't care about these movies. I don't understand the fascination. You know how you love the comic books when you were in those kind of comic books, not like Daniel Clowes, but you know how you like superhero comic books when you were 11?
I did when I was 11.
When you were 11.
Yeah. Yep. I liked them a lot when I was 11, and then I stopped buying them when I was 13.
We're going to take a break before we do the closing hour and a half. Derek, you have nothing to do, right? Let's do this. Let's rock. You guys don't care about comedy?
Hey, let's a little bit after 2:30. Let's wait till the crowd gets here for the No. Anything else? What else is...
No, I'm not trying to cut it short. But you looked at your watch 12 times, and you were also texting and playing Angry Birds during the interview.
I stopped playing Angry Birds. You're lying. What? No, we should wrap it up pretty quick here.
That's what everybody says when they interview me.
Hey, we should wrap it up.
Yeah, it's good, Andy, but an hour and a half.
Just about at our time.
How long have we done? Like an hour?
A little over an hour.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
That's what people want. People like to listen to me complain and whine.
I'm going to listen back to
it. Naked.
In the tub or on... No, what else? So you got the Montreal thing. Just what else is coming up the next year?
Well, I got... so I was on Marin, and I just did another Letterman, which was so much fun.
In June, right?
In June. I loved it. I made a pilot for a show that I'm trying to sell called Kindler Television. So I've been trying to sell that. This has not... So far... Well, let me put it this way. There's a lot of people bidding on it, so it's very competitive. So I'm trying to sell that. It's kind of basically like me doing takeoffs on a lot of stuff on TV. Like I do what if a thing like Simon Cowell if he was like doing the Antiques Roadshow. So I just abuse people for their items that they bring in. Yeah. Oh, your father? He goes, oh, your father died with it? You know why your father gave this to you before he died? Because he didn't want to be buried with it. So I'm trying to sell that, and then I'm going to do the AST album this summer. And hopefully Marin will get picked up. And I'm the voice of Mort on Bob's Burgers. I mean, don't kid yourself. Things are happening for me. And just for last festival, and then I'm going to other various places. I'm going to the Arlington Draft House in Washington, D.C. What's the chances of anybody listening to this jotting down my August and September dates?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Also, AndyKindler.com. Going into its 15th year, nothing ever changes. A lot of people, if you're looking for something that's static in your life that you can count on, if new tour dates bothers you, if you want to see where I was in 2004, check it out. But at Andy Kindler, that's where it's all happening.
Yeah. You are continuously active on the Twitter.
Because that's like talking about a guy who's old. Andy's still active.
He's 85%.
Yeah. I still haven't figured out how to send on Twitter. What? Hey, come in here. What are you? I don't understand it. You hit return?
Did we cover anything? Everything? Anything else?
Did we cover anything? That's the greatest thing. All right, we've been talking to you for an hour and 15 minutes. Have we covered anything? Did you let me do any of the things that I brought in to have you comment on? I'm good. I think I'm good, unless you have something else. You want me to do like a closing bit? Hey, what is up with elevators? I'm writing that one down. You can close the show where I write that one down, or I could listen to myself back, but that sounds a little crazy. What's up with elevators? What's up with this Y2K? When's that going to go away? It went away already, Andy. Yeah, I mean, what's going to happen? The clock is going to my digital clock, my analog clock has never been the same since W2K.
Does this bottled water ever expire?
Well, yeah, right. What's up with bottled water? What's going to be next? Canned water? I would love to write a complete act of this kind of material, which is what my act is.
Come see it this week at Acme. That's it. Thank you, Andy.
Thank you. This was great. I really enjoyed it.
Awesome.
And even though it will not be recorded, I'm still happy.
Exactly.